So let's have a look at the modern day half-ton Shorty. So that's a regular cab, short box or short wheelbase half-ton truck. Now, Ford's the only company left making them, but I don't want this video just to really be about Fords. I mean, lots of companies make great ones. Toyota had a Tundra, Chevy and GMC had them. They still make them, they just don't sell them in Canada or the US right now. And Ram had them up till 2019. So the thing with these trucks was, a lot of people, everybody used to either have a regular cab 8-foot box or a regular cab 6-foot box, but the 6-foot box was kind of the outdoor guy type truck. So if you wanted to go four-wheeling or you wanted to do anything like that, then you had a regular cab 6-foot box, and they had the highest payload. So mathematically, it just kind of works out that way. So the truck is shorter and lighter, so it weighs less, and the gross vehicle weight's the same because they use the same axles and frame and stuff. So so they're rated for the same amount, and yeah, they weigh less, so that gave you more payload. Now, when the bigger trucks started coming out, they had they had this issue with the dealerships where people were coming back with their truck and saying, well, how come this thing only payloads 1,000 pounds when my old little truck used to payload 2,500? Like, this is a bigger truck, it should payload more. And so that caused a problem, with the dealerships, which caused a problem with the manufacturers. So so people wanted a truck that was bigger, that payloaded more, but mathematically that means, once you get over 8,500 pounds, you're into a 3/4 ton. So if you want a truck that weighs 6,000 pounds that payloads 3,000 pounds, that's 9,000 pounds. That's a 3/4 ton truck. So Ford said, well, what we'll do, instead, we'll just derate the little truck. So we'll make them more a competitor with a 1/4 ton truck. So we'll put lower 4-ply tires on them, and that'll derate the axles, which will give us a lower gross combined weight rating. And so if it has a gross combined weight of 6,400 pounds, then we can take that from the 4,500 pounds, and we get 1,900 pounds, and that's right around the middle of the road for a half-ton truck. So anyway, so that became an issue. So a lot of the other companies now have kind of stopped to make them because they weren't as popular, because you could get the same payloads out of a 1/4 ton truck. So people started converting back to these bigger 1/4 ton trucks. Anyway, but the idea here is, for overlanding, we want something with a short wheelbase. So short, they don't make a short wheelbase 1/4 ton truck anymore. Like, a lot of them are 137 inches, like the Jeep, or 140 inches for a Tacoma with a 6-foot box. So these trucks have a shorter wheelbase. The other thing a lot of people don't seem to understand is that you can upgrade the gross combined weight rating, or gross vehicle weight rating, by changing the tires and the wheels on a lot of these trucks. So unlike 1/4 tons, which are usually pretty well maxed out for their ratings, these trucks here were derated so they can be uprated again. So, and the Ford came with two different options for a rear axle, and this is the 8.8, or what they call a Super 8.8, and it was rated for 3,800 pounds. There was also a 9.75 axle that's rated for 5,300 pounds. So if you get a truck like that weighs 4,500 pounds but has a 5,300 gross rear axle and a 3,800 gross front axle, that's 9,100 pounds. That means you'd end up with a spare axle capacity of 4,600 pounds. So 1,800 pounds is no longer the payload capacity. This gives you all kinds of capability to haul something like an Earth Cruiser mod, MOD, or you could go right from a tent or rack with a rooftop tent, or a Lightner system, or you can go right up to what would be like a full-size pop-up truck camper or a hard-sided truck camper, because you have that payload capability, right? So the frame and the axles are rated to haul, realistically, what could be over 40 or up to 4,600 pounds, but legally, for road purposes, a number that's probably about 38 or 3,900 pounds. And changing tires and wheels is basically, on these half-ton trucks, all you have to do to get that. And that gives you this versatility that I've been talking about. So you end up with something that you can, you can do anything with. You can put camper systems on it. You can totally rebuild it and do other things as well. So this gives you the ability to transform it over time. So you could do something like a four-wheel pop-up camper, and then you could sell that, and then you could buy, say, a bigger camper, and you could sell that, and then maybe start to transform it. So you could take the box off, and you can build things like in Europe. You see a lot of people, they take a Land Cruiser 200. Now, Land Cruiser 200's pretty good alternative, except it's awfully expensive. So here, that type of thing is going to cost you $120,000 to $140,000. Then you got to cut it, void the warranty, get rid of all the body, build something like this. This is a G-Wagen. But yeah, you build like a solid insulated box system with a pop-up roof or without a pop-up roof. But these things are available to be done on a Shorty. Now, and very easy to do a pass-through by taking out the back window. Now, these guys that do these systems, they're $200,000-$300,000. This Jeep here, that's a V8 in something with a 120-ish inch wheelbase and an insulated box system on it. And I don't think you could buy that for $300,000. Now, you could very easily buy a $30,000 half-ton Shorty and do this exact type of thing to it. So now that's on 37s. My truck's on 34 and a halves. But anyway, it's comparable. I'd just like people to think about, what they're spending their money on and what they're starting with and what their end result is that they're hoping for. I mean, if it's a brand loyalty thing, then you're going to have to do that. But I think that there's really good options out there that people aren't looking at. If you're a Ford person or a regular cab person, please like and subscribe.